Welcome back to the Ref Show, where I'm joined this week by David Hurst with Keith Hackett. Big talking point to kick off. Heading. Are we heading into danger? Danger for the game, but is heading causing medical problems for people? Now, you shake your head. I think all of us traditionalists do. But concussion lawsuits have been taken out against several local football associations in the junior game in America. And as a result of that, there's a recommendation for the United States Soccer Federation to eliminate heading for children of 10 and under. That could have quite fundamental consequences for the game we all love, Keith.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, the skill of players being able to head the ball is all part and parcel of the game. America sometimes will get into these sort of situations, won't they? The legal aspects of it. But as I understand it, the laws of the game that are produced certainly absolve any referee from any responsibility. And that is my side, and that's where I'm sticking. I think that I have seen in America where you can buy a sort of padded head guard for youngsters in heading the ball.
That could be the
solution
might be the answer to what is a problem. Could be a problem for the game. Funnily enough, the original Sheffield rules didn't have heading as part of the game, did they?
That's
you
right.
can handle it, but not.
Correct.
We're not going back in that
There's
direction.
no rule really set down that says that you've got to head the ball anyway. That's your choice. This is why I can't understand the lawsuit. If I go and head a ball, who do I claim against? My decision.
But if you're a coach of one of these kids and a ball's coming over, a nice juicy centre, and your kid doesn't...
And then we're going to have a problem then of how do we get kids into the game? Because if I take my child to the training session and say to the coach, excuse me, but I don't want him to do any heading, well, we need a centre half. And that's where he plays. And so unfortunately, he ain't going to be playing on Saturday. Yeah. It's going to cause a problem. Yeah. It is part of the game.
But the reason why this has got some credence and it is a big discussion point is very, very sadly, as you know, Jeff Astle died from heading-related problems, and that was expressed by the coroner at the inquest. Danny Blanchflower, similar. And we all know, sadly, I know a couple of former strikers who are suffering badly from dementia, which might be a result of repeatedly heading the ball.
The word might be. Yeah, they're the words, might be. I mean, I don't want to go against the coroner with Jeff's case, but could that not have been a fall earlier in life? That's a bang of an head or whatever. Maybe not just the constant football, because we've sort of one case. We can relate dementia with the case, but there's people struggling with dementia and passed away with dementia that have never played the game, never headed anything, never fallen over and banged their heads.
Well, there's debate about the heavier ball. In those days, of course, with Jeff Astle, it was a heavier ball then.
The lace, yeah. It is a part of the game. I think it's a difficult one to overcome, to be honest. Because when you're in the game, even as a young kid, and that ball's at that height, they're going to stick their head on it, because that's what the game...
But it would change the game completely. I mean, it's not the game. It would become a five-a-side, wouldn't it, where the ball can't go above a certain height?
I think it'd become part of that. But again, you know, the playing surfaces themselves have changed. You know, there was a lot of mud around and heavy pitches in my day. So the ball used to go plop and stay there. Yeah. Now we see much firmer pitches that have to be watered at half time to soften up some of the surface. So the ball might be coming off a bit harder. But yeah, I'm with David. I think ultimately it's part and parcel of the game. And, you know, we've seen the risk of, you know, in any sport there's a risk. And therefore football in a way is no different. There's a risk. You go out there over the white line, the referee's responsible for trying to control things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the people that are playing the game are at risk. There could be a broken leg, eye injury, whatever. Two players could head each other and knock the ball.
I think working from the tens downwards, I can see the situation. Yeah. But it's going to come later on, unless we totally get it out of the game. So, talking about children below the 10 years of age, actually, when they get to 10 and into 11, then we forgot about it, and that's okay now. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's where the the serious heading starts, if you like.
Let's have a look at the Championship, as we do from time to time. There's a fine line between challenging fairly and dangerously. There's a challenge that I thought at Hillsborough, funnily enough, at Sheffield Wednesday, I thought ought to have been a red card. Let's go back, though, to the England-France friendly last week. 2-0, great performance from Dele Alli. Thrilling to see him, first of all, win that ball. It was 40-60, I reckon, against him. He won that ball in midfield with a challenge which... How far away from a red card was that challenge?
Really close. Yeah. And it's a terrific point because, you know, the referee has to judge it on the day. And this is why he's exposed, because if he's not got the right angle, he could see a challenge that is perfectly legal, but he could see it as illegal. And this is why we constantly call for, like, the video ref, because sometimes a different angle gives you a different view. You know, the quality of television now exposes the referee around the challenging areas.
He won the ball fairly. The conversation wasn't raised as to whether it could have been a red card, but I was thinking, I've seen some of those.
Yeah, there was one I forget what game it was, there was one at the week and it was mentioned on TV. And the actual commentator said, you know, there is a chance these days that you can win the ball fairly and give a free kick.
Correct.
Isn't it? It's a problem, isn't it?
And there
We've
you
got
go.
this
So,
blurred line.
I mean, is that the judgment of the referee? You know, you've won the ball and made the foul.
It is the judgment of the referee. The law is quite clear in that it's excessive force that endangers the safety of the
He went with 1 foot, one
Yeah.
foot off the ground.
So 1 foot helps his cause. If he's, however, really off the ground, then he's not able to turn and twist, can't change the shape of his body, and that's when he's deemed to be reckless. Right. The outcome determines whether, in fact, he's endangered. So
we'd have hated to
it's
see that pulled up, though, wouldn't we? What a great challenge from a midfield player.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the game that I used to play, but that went out of the game. They couldn't tackle. You know, as we used to get, we used to hit goalkeepers back in the day, and you get now excessive force or. My body's going one way, his coming the other. There's your collision.
Carl Boyson was the referee at Hillsborough. I know you weren't impressed. This was Sheffield Wednesday's victory over Huddersfield. Jonathan Hogg, substitute of Huddersfield, I thought made a wild challenge which ticks all the boxes for a red card. Fortunately, he didn't connect properly with Ross Wallace, who made little of it, which I thought was a great reaction from Wallace. Otherwise, I thought there could have been a red card there.
It's probably that reaction that's helped his opponent not get a red. But remember, you can still get a red even if you don't make contact. Yeah. Reckless excessive force can take place, right, without having to hit the player or ball and player. It's amazing, the law and the options that the referee's got. Makes life very difficult.
I'm just going to say, it does make it very difficult for everybody involved in football.
It does.
So you can't tackle or get near people.
It's not as bad as that, but it makes it difficult. And this is why, you know, we smile and we're right to smile. This is why we're lacking defenders. Because the real defender that David had to put up with, that I refereed, you know, he'd get kicked in the air and I'd shout, play on. You know, he'd be writhing in agony and I'd go, what's up with you?
I know we've got viewers in Leeds, regular viewers in Leeds. Leeds United losing at home to Rotherham, which was a storybook comeback to Elland Road for Neil Redfern, who was very harshly sacked there. I think a lot of people enjoyed that result, you know, sorry Leeds. But the incident in that where Berardi of Leeds got smashed in the face by an elbow from Leon Best of Rotherham. They both ended up getting sent off. You know, you could almost understand Berardi's furious reaction there, because it was a...
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, you've got to rely upon the referee to see those offences and deal with them pretty quickly, and that might avoid retaliation. But, you know, I mean, when you talk about Leeds United supporters, and I mean, I used to go regularly to Leeds in my role as PGMOL when they're riding high in the Premier League, playing some beautiful football, terrific atmosphere, and you suddenly see where they're at the moment. Difficulties with the club, the ownership, is he going to release it, is he not? Are the fans going to get involved? They're still having to pay money, good money, to see the game. It's difficult, isn't it, if you're a fan of a club? You've really got to have great faith when the clubs are down. And when they're walking away on a Saturday afternoon, having taken a defeat to Rotherham United, then, you know, That's hard to take for any fan, I think.
But on the retaliation side of it, it's very difficult not to, and I'll tell you why. 95% of retaliations know that the referee or somebody else is going to jump in. It ain't going to go any further. I mean, it gets a bit handbags at 5 yards, really, doesn't it?
Brilliant, guys. Thanks ever so much to both of you. Just finally, I mentioned Chris Kavanagh, who's a promising young referee. Roger Dilks put the microscope on him in Middlesbrough's 1-0 victory over QPR. Said it was good performance, good young referee, just needs to toughen up and be more ruthless in dealing with senior pros, having missed some yellow cards in that match. Bit of a learning point to finish with, and thanks for your comments, Roger. Thank you to you for watching, and we'll see you for another Ref Show next week. Bye now.